Hi, welcome to Above Deck, a below deck breakdown podcast. I'm Sarah Goldman, a photographer and former marine biologist living in Charleston, South Carolina. With me is my college roommate and co-host, Kelly.
I'm Kelly Busby, an executive assistant and former radio host, coming to you from my home studio in Columbus, Ohio. Together, Sarah and I hosted the Socks with Sandals radio show on WFAL in Bowling Green, Ohio, and we are back again this week to discuss Below Deck and our love of all things Bravo.
Today we'll be discussing Below Deck Season 12, Episode 4, Island of Sausages. And with that title, how can it be bad?
Here's your recap. The crew feels the exhaustion of the 5-day charter, and the deck team is increasingly frustrated with Caio. The guests go on a night kayaking adventure, and Fraser enjoys playing a character on BDSM night. All right, Sarah, how many shackles do you give this one?
Strong 9.
Yeah,
Hot bodies to look at. The
right?
kayaking adventure was super cool. I
Yeah,
mean, I loved it. I thought it was great.
yeah, it was good.
So when the episode begins, Caio has a deck team meeting, just kind of letting them all know about his chat he had with Captain Kerry. And they listen, but then afterwards, when Caio leaves, Kyle, his comment to the deckhands is, well, he didn't call all four of us to the bridge, did he?
Exactly. And I even went back because Caio said, I just came from the wheelhouse with Captain. He asked me if you guys are into it, and he asked me if I am into it. I'm like,
Mm,
no.
mm-mm,
So I
hmm.
went back to check, and they did not. If
Yeah,
if if they edited it that way,
yeah,
I
could
feel
be,
like
but
that's I don't know. I don't would have because it doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know.
yeah,
But Kyle was spot on.
yeah, exactly. So they're gonna like take whatever he says with a grain of salt at this point. Okay,
Right.
now the past two episodes, we have complained about the slow-mo raw egg shots.
Yes.
Now we have slow-mos of beautiful men doing pull-ups in budgie smugglers. We have slow-mo sun cream application on back muscles. 10 out of 10, no notes.
Yeah, definitely 10 out of 10. Let's not do any more egg shots. Let's do like if we need filler, let's just bring back some video of these lovely guests and share
Yeah, even if
with
they're
us
not
again.
on that episode,
Right, it
like
doesn't
that's
matter.
fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine. It's fine. We're fine.
It's
Everything's
just
fine.
some B-roll.
So good.
Okay. So this was a very quick moment, and I watched it like four times. But Diego and another charter guest, maybe Skynox, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Skynox in a yellow cape, they passed each other in the stairwell, and
Uh-huh.
Diego said, Monsieur.
I think I would take on an accent if I was on a boat in St. Martin's. I think I would for 5 days, or I mean, heck, I've even done it at work for an hour just to make things more fun. So,
Absolutely.
hello, la la la.
Yes. Okay, tonight is the night kayaking tour, followed by the neon
Yes.
party, and Celine gets to go, which is nice for her.
Yeah.
Captain Kerry is going to go also. He says it's to take the pressure off of Caio, but don't you think it's also because he just wanted to go? Like, who wouldn't?
Absolutely. I think it worked out perfectly for him to use that excuse. And he even said an adventure. And I was like, yes. Go.
Yes.
But I mean, that's something I would definitely do. Have you ever done anything like that?
Um, no, I have not done, I've done some diving stuff, which I'll tell you about.
Okay.
So I think this is one of the coolest excursions we've ever seen on Below
Yeah.
Deck. So here's a little science lesson for you. So
Okay.
not only do the lights look cool, but they
Mhm.
attract zooplankton, which consists of like little tiny crustaceans and larval forms of crabs and shrimp and lobsters and snails and larval fish. And then this attracts the things that eat those little things. Um,
Oh,
that's exciting. So when I lived in Hawaii, I worked on a manta ray tagging project, and we would set up at the manta ray night dive site in Kona. And this is where all the dive operators would bring lights and put them on the bottom, and then that would attract the plankton, which brings in the manta rays and other things for the divers to see. Um, and then there's also dive operators that do what's called like a black water dive, and so you would like either do a drift dive or you would hang on a line in like pitch black and
nope.
you and,
Nope. Right
and you'd
there.
see all the little like tiny critters that come to the surface at night. Um, many of them bioluminesce, so they create like a sparkling
Ooh,
blue-green light, like when disturbed. So sometimes when we're diving in the summer, usually sink down to the bottom and turn off your dive light and like just like swish your hand through the water, and you can see like sparkles and lights, blue-green lights of like those little creatures that you can't really see them, but you can see the light that they put off.
that is so cool.
Anyway, I put a link to a dive shop I've been out with in West Palm Beach that does this, so
Fun.
it's very cool. So there's your science lesson for today.
I love it.
Okay, so they did see a turtle. That was cool. My
Yeah.
favorite part was the drone footage.
Yes. Oh,
So cool.
absolutely. No, you told your mom after the fact, but you used to hang off the side of the boat and wait for the manta rays to come visit you, right?
Yeah, we would
Like the boat would
basically
drag you.
hang on a line like behind the boat and you'd look for manta rays, and sometimes you would look back and see like a shark following you just casually. A little one, but yeah,
But still, nonetheless, a shark fell. And you told your mom about this afterwards.
of
After,
course, yeah, that's one of her
yeah.
favorite stories to tell. Good times. And I'm still
I love
alive.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so it's dinner time. I really loved Fraser's like crop top and tutu combination.
He looked so adorable. And the guests looked, everybody looked adorable. This is
Hmm.
just, I love a neon party, right?
Yeah, it's
Like it's
fun.
fun. You can't help but smile. And it reminds me of like Barbie. I don't know.
Yeah, Barbie and like early 90s, late 80s, everyone had those
Lisa Frank.
sunglasses, you know. Yeah. Ooh, we should get some sunglasses like that for BravoCon.
There's this
That'd be
one.
fun. Okay, so this is Anthony's first dinner without Lawrence, so he's feeling like he's really got to step it up. Um,
Yeah,
they have sushi for the first course, and shrimp is served to Marcel. He's the one with a shellfish allergy. Um,
not good.
so when someone has an allergy like that, which those are very serious, shouldn't maybe that item not even be either like not on the boat or not on the menu for anyone? Like you would think you wouldn't even want it like on the table.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the severity of their allergy,
Yeah.
because like some people can't have it like anywhere near anything,
Hmm.
I think if I were cooking for a group of people in the middle of a large body of water with no
Hmm.
immediate medical access, yes, I wouldn't even have it on the boat. I
Yeah,
hope he has an EpiPen. Like I don't, because
I'm
he
sure he
did
does.
say, yeah, because he was like, I would like to breathe tonight. And yes, friend, we would like you to breathe tonight too. Like,
Yes, please.
yeah.
So Caio has a heart-to-heart with Jess down in the bosun locker, and she tells him, don't worry, you're here because you're supposed to be. But what she doesn't tell him is you might be here because production chose you knowing that you're probably going to get fired.
I didn't even think about that. I got the feeling though during this part that he was almost campaigning a little bit to
Hmm.
make sure he had someone on his side in case he does get called to the wheelhouse again.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's exactly
Yeah,
it. So dinner's
seemed
going okay. Meanwhile, down in housekeeping, Celine is folding a towel on the bathroom floor. On the
hmm.
floor, Kelly. Now, maybe it was a bath mat that, like, you put your feet on anyway. But what if she's folding like washcloths and hand towels also on the floor?
Um, I'm and she probably was because I don't think she thinks
Hmm.
for like to the consequences of what she does. Like I
Yeah.
don't, but I hope not. I hope it was the bath mat. I hope it was
Hmm. Hmm.
um another thing that I noticed was Rainbow is folding the guests under things. And again, please don't do that for me. Like they're good. They don't need folded.
No, don't touch my cock ring.
Yeah, right. That's what she said. Um, I loved Damo looking like a Ken doll though, with his
Yeah.
little tufted hair and the glasses. Oh gosh, he looks so cute.
Yeah, he did look cute. I don't know how much is going on upstairs, but he's very cute to look at.
That's all right. We'll take it.
Celine cleans up and tells Rainbow, she's all done, all good, and good night. And Rainbow goes back upstairs and finds that there's like, decorations here and there, and she's once again has a lot of work to do.
I'm not sure how I would handle that situation other than I would take photos, make sure
Hmm.
that they're timestamps, and then show them to her the next morning and ask why she didn't do that part.
Yeah.
What
Or
would you,
at least why did you say like I'm done? Say I
yeah.
still have a few things that need to be put away, but I have to go to bed. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah,
The next day, or maybe she did think she was done though.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
I
I don't
think she
know.
did. She's like, I'm good. Okay.
Right.
The next day, this is the beach setup day.
And Fraser is hoping it's a nice beach, one that doesn't suck. Okay, so what do you say? No dogs, no trash allowed? Come on, man. That's the
No
fun stuff.
hypodermic needles.
Right.
Just gosh, he's so picky.
I know. Lame.
Barbara talks to Captain Kerry about a past relationship, and he tells her how he really worked on himself post-divorce so he could attract the right kind of person. I loved this conversation.
I thought it was great. And I can appreciate that. And now it's time for me to do that.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
excited.
Should you want to bring somebody in, you know,
That's right.
Captain
We'll
Jason,
see.
he said 2025 is his year. Okay. Um, Fraser, Anthony, and Damo are setting up the beach picnic, and here comes Caio with the guests. And Fraser tells him, keep circling around the bay, like just keep it moving. Like we're not ready yet.
What the heck? Why doesn't he touch the radio like ever?
Yeah,
I don't
he's
understand.
yeah, it's like this is the first time he's working on a boat this size, and I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so
Right.
this is the nude beach, and so Fraser reminds them of that, and they waste no time to strip down. Um, did you see the other random couple on the beach that were just like watching this whole situation?
I loved all of this. So Fraser is quick to tell them that it is a nude
Hmm.
beach, and the fact that they were just like, yes, and just like ripped down and in the water, and they are just all smiles. And Fraser is like, yes, yes to all of this. Even Kyle, I mean, even all the guys, I'm sure they were into it. So the randos were loving it too. Don't let you, I mean, they looked like they were wearing bikinis. They were all, completely dressed, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that was funny. That woman was like, "All right." They're probably like on their honeymoon and the husband's like,
Right.
oh my gosh, what have we gotten
Have you
ourselves
ever
into?"
done a nude beach?
No, have you?
God,
No.
no.
Bill
Would you ever do
has.
one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I would feel so awkward.
And Bill has though?
Yeah, I think in like Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia,
Okay.
somewhere like over in Europe. I don't know.
Or he was like, I'm never gonna see these people again, so let's go.
Yeah, he said it was like no big deal. So I don't know. I
Okay. That's
just
different for guys, I feel like.
maybe
They're
we
like,
have stuff on top and bottom. We
I was gonna say they only
so
have one area to worry about. We've got like
yeah,
multiple areas to worry of.
we'll see. We will see. I mean, I don't know. Okay. And maybe as we get older, maybe it's like, who cares?
Right.
I don't
That's
know.
true.
Just let it all hang out. I did like when Anthony said, it's a lot of penis, huh?
Yeah.
Fraser says if this was a porno, he'd call it Sandy Crotch. And Anthony
Okay.
said it would be the beach of sausages, except he says it in French.
Yes. And I love it. I love it all.
Yeah, it's perfect. Sandy Crotch isn't quite as sexy, but it's exactly right.
That's painful.
The giant sand pen 15 is complete.
And they did a great job, as we knew they would.
Yeah, I didn't love the hair.
No, I did not. That was, I mean, a little bit would have been fine, but I think they went like full blown, so we
They were
knew
like, this
exactly
is
what
a
it was.
European situation. Okay. So Rainbow's anxiety is making me anxious. Everything is an emergency. If we don't do
Yeah.
this right now, we're screwed. And just like relax. We got porn stars on the beach. Like, let's just relax. I was team Celine on this.
Mhm.
I would have told her, okay, look, you have 5 minutes to clean that little area that you want to finish cleaning, and then you have a 1 hour break.
Right. No, I think that's fair. I think that's the best way to handle it. Um, I almost started a counter on the number of times that Rainbow said, if we aren't doing this and they come back, we're effed. Like it was at
Yeah.
least two times.
I'm like, are we? It's just a little dramatic.
Yeah, a little too excited.
Okay, so Barbara has figured out how to deal with Celine, and she
Oh,
says she just treats her like a big kid, basically. So
okay,
she's like figured out a way to like not be angry about it, just like this is how I'm gonna deal
just
with this
roll
with
with
you.
it.
Yeah.
Eh. That
So
works.
Captain Kerry is frustrated with the lack of communication from Caio today regarding like the guests and the timing and like what time the tender will be there. And understandably.
Yeah, I feel like that's deckhand 101 type stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
and Carrie asked Kyle how things are going this season, and
Hmm.
Kyle was pretty neutral on how he said stuff to Captain
Yeah.
about but he said that Kyle has an engineering type brain. So like just very focused on the
Yeah.
task at hand. And I
Hmm.
really think that's going to be his downfall.
Yeah. I thought this was a good answer. It was a way for Kyle not to completely throw him under the bus, but also letting
To
Captain
let him
Kerry
know
like, look,
what's going on.
something's happening and this is a little
Yeah,
hard. So okay, so
absolutely.
question. Why did
Yes.
all the deckhands and Captain Kerry wait to take off their shirts once all the guests were off the beach? Because this group would have loved it.
Okay, so I was thinking about this too. I think they were trying to focus on getting them on the boat to get them back to the boat timely manner.
Hmm.
So they were like, we will not distract them. We will hold off on the distraction, let them get there, and then we'll take off our shirts. I think that's why.
Yeah, okay. Well, I
That's what I'm going
enjoyed
to tell
it.
myself.
Okay, so tonight's dinner theme is S&M, Venetian, private members vibe.
Very eyes wide open.
I have not seen that.
It is a really odd film.
Okay, okay. But you recommend I should watch it, so I know what.
You should watch it. It will make sense. But yeah, this is all like the masks with yeah, it's
Okay, creepy. I love it. Okay,
yeah.
so Fraser delivers a safe word on a platter to the guests, and the safe word is Saint Slavid.
Yes.
He's like in his character. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Fraser tells the crew they're playing characters tonight, so no
Yeah.
smiling, like very serious. And the silence is deafening at dinner. Like they don't even have any
Yes.
music or anything. And I really liked Anthony's like, here's the food. Eat whatever you want because I don't care. And he's trying to be mean, but he's too adorable and nice.
Yeah. Well, it's a tomato and something. I don't know. Eat it if you want. Like it was just the dramatics though are amazing. I loved it. And I think Fraser is loving his role a little too much.
Yeah.
And the fact he comes in like he's got the gloves that are like where the fingers are cut off. He's
Yeah.
got that robe. He's like smoking and comes in. He looked kind of like he was running a brothel. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna-
I loved it.
but I loved it all. And then
Yeah.
the Anthony telling the guests to not say thank you when he delivered the food was great. Don't
Yeah.
say thank you.
So
Sorry,
funny.
chef.
He's like, I don't know how to be mean. Okay. Okay. The next day, this is charter day 4, as a reminder.
Okay.
Everyone is tired, and we just get little clips of the day. This must have been like the least exciting day. We have big gay brunch, we have water sports, they go to St. Bart's. And then the dinner theme that night is Adam and Steve.
I am so tired. And I was wondering how they were going to share this because I thought
Mm,
might be a unique thing that they were trying to have them on for more than 2 episodes, but
that's what
this
I
was
thought
good.
too.
But I just love how they showed one person saying, I'm tired, and then they split it out. I'm tired. Kind of Wayne's World,
We're
like,
tired. Yeah.
and then they tell two friends and they tell two friends. So, um,
Yeah.
and then everybody at the same time, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Just,
No, that
yeah, it
was
was cute.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you feeling in general about a longer charter like this? Is this something you want to see going forward, or are you kind of good with the like 2.5 day
I like
situation?
the 2.5 day one, or like
Yeah,
even the
just
day and a
kind of
half
keep it
one.
moving.
Yeah, and I think I only because I don't see it just doesn't fit the format of Below Deck.
Yeah. I
And
did
if
like
they're
that
trying
they've
to change it, I mean, that's
Yeah, I
fine,
do
but
like that this season is not so like uniform and predictable. I like that there's like different things happening.
yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
was I was getting tired after, day 4 for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's charter day 5. This is drop off day. I really hope the crew gets at least 2 days off, like after this. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kyle asked Celine out for a drink during
Did
their
he ask her though? Did
um
he
he
did he
said
just say we're going to go out and have drinks? Now,
something
granted,
like that. That sounds about right.
Kyle could say that to me and I'd be like, okay, like
Okay, I'll be there. Okay.
here.
Um, Guest departure by tender,
Cute.
and Fraser talks to Jess about his boyfriend and reiterates that they've only seen each other for 5 days in all of 2024. And they met each other in the industry, but he said he's tired of having a pen pal and calling it a boyfriend.
Yeah, and I can completely understand, especially after this charter. He is saying there are a lot of fish out there. A lot. A lot.
Yes. Okay. The tip meeting. Captain Kerry says he was really impressed with the crew, but the tip unfortunately did not reflect how hard they worked. Only
Yeah.
19,990 for a 5 day charter. But Captain Kerry says, don't worry, I'm gonna take you into St. Bart's tonight for dinner, and then tomorrow you get a half day off and I'm gonna take you in for brunch. So hopefully that makes up for it.
Why do we think were short $10? Why didn't they just make it an even 20?
That would have sounded a lot better, right?
Or even like $9, like give them the extra $9 to make it sound like a house payment or something. I don't, is it a tax thing?
19,999.
Yeah.
I don't
I just
know.
wonder if it's a tax thing or what, I don't know. But I also wonder what a typical 5 day charter would bring in for the
Yeah, that's a
tip.
good question. I mean,
Hmm.
definitely don't you think they're generally doing kind of 20% of what it would cost? I don't know
I
exactly.
don't know.
So Captain drops them off on land for dinner, and Damo at dinner asks Rainbow what her first impressions were of him, and this is a narcissistic question if I've ever heard one. And she says, funny, funny, simple guy, basically a simpleton.
This is the weirdest question ever. It kind of reminded me of Gary when he would talk to Daisy last season.
Yeah, I get
What
that
do you
vibe for
think of me?
sure.
What do you think? I don't,
Hmm.
yeah, that was just an odd thing. I don't know if he was trying to strike up a conversation with her and he didn't know what to, like he was
What do you
thinking of
think
how
of
to
me? What
say
do you
that.
think
And he
of
just
me?
like verbal diarrhea out of his mouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, Jess and Barbara are talking about all of the Pen 15s they just experienced this
Yeah.
week.
They're like, that was a lot. I
There's
think
a
even
lot of
for a
poopers.
straight person, that'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the boat. It's hot tub time. We have a very steamy makeout session between Damo and Fraser. I think this has been kind of building the past
Heck
couple
yeah.
charters.
Heck yeah.
And Damo in his green screen says, he's kissed guys before and he's even questioned, if he was gay. So this is the first like real kiss we've had of the season. And
Yes.
it was hot. So Kyle
Yes.
and Celine are left in the hot tub and he tells her he wants to kiss her and they kiss, but she says in her green screen, guys are always falling for her, but she's not looking for a relationship.
Yes, they're always falling all over themselves for you, Celine, or Celeste, whatever Rainbow called her
Celeste. That
this
was really funny.
episode.
Um, but I have to say the kiss between Damo and Fraser way hotter than
Oh
Kyle
yeah.
and Celine's
Oh yeah.
kiss. Yeah.
Love that a lot.
Yes. Okay, so one thing I want to let our listeners know is we're having Tony Genius on the pod next week. He's
Yay.
Skynox's boyfriend from this charter. So
Yes,
that's very exciting. So be
I'm
thinking if
excited.
there's questions that you have for him and we'll yeah, hopefully that'll work out.
My mom saw the links that you sent me to some of his articles about him, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Who is that?" And I said, "Oh, this is," and I showed her my phone, and she was like, "Oh my." And I was like, "Don't
Oh.
clutch your pearls. You're fine." Like you're
I
fine.
asked Bill, I was like, should we watch one of his videos? Like, should we be familiar with his work before we talk to him? And he was like, no, absolutely not. Like, do you think, I think that might be awkward if we've seen all of him when we talk to him. I don't know.
We've seen his butt,
That's
so
true.
they all had beautiful butts, didn't
They
they?
did. Yeah. I mean, if that's your job, you gotta keep it
You got to
tight.
make sure that's the keeping it tight. Okay. It's time for our segments, Fraser's phrases. All right. So, Sarah, which one of these is your favorite?
Okay.
Number one. Oh gosh, what have I signed myself up to? Number two. This is the chef. He makes good he makes the food, you idiots. Sorry. I could just see him doing this. Like,
hmm
okay. Have you not got any linen trousers? You do look hot though. So cute.
I think Fraser brings up linen almost every season, which is funny to me, but I'm gonna go with he makes the food, you idiots. Like that was so funny. He just loves a moment where he got to be mean to the charter guests. So,
It's the best. The best.
well,
Love
let's
it.
take a break and we'll come back with hot tub combo.
We are sponsored by BetterHelp. Let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost up to $250 per session, and that adds up fast. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save an average of up to 50% per session. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big time on cost and time. Therapy should be accessible, not a luxury.
BetterHelp is also super convenient. You can join a session with just the click of a button, making it easy just to fit it into your everyday busy life. If your therapist doesn't feel like the right fit, no worries. You can switch to another one until you find the right person that you really connect with.
Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/above deck today to get 10% off your first month. That's better, HELP.com/above deck. I feel like we should suggest to Rainbeau to call BetterHelp.
I was thinking that as well. Like, and she's even kind of hinted around that she needs some therapy. I mean, everybody needs therapy, but Rainbow,
Absolutely.
aim,
Yeah.
go use our code above deck. And yeah.
All right. It's time for Hot Tub Combo, where we discuss what's happening with our favorite below deck cast members.
So Rainbow and Chef Anthony were on Watch What Happens Live last Monday. It was such a
Yeah.
good watch. Anthony is
Yeah.
so animated. I mean, even
Yes.
more so than he is on the show. And I'm curious if anybody else noticed that the second chair, Anthony's chair, was in a slightly different position than normal. It was like too far forward and kind of like facing
Oh.
towards Andy. And I just wanted to like put it back in the correct spot. It really like bothered me. Just curious. Okay, so everyone go watch it on Peacock. Okay, these are the moments that were of interest to me. Anthony
Okay.
said he didn't really know Caio. He said there was one time he touched his hair and Caio was like, "Don't touch me." And after that, he was like, "All right, I'm
Oh.
not gonna be your friend or whatever." Okay. I
Okay.
think
Okay.
Rainbow was chewing gum the whole time, which was rather distracting. If she wasn't chewing gum, I don't know what was going on in her mouth.
I think she
Um,
said she was pretty tipsy too.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Okay, I mean, she looked great. She did a good job, but there was something going on. She said that Fraser is the best chief stew she's ever been with, like on any boat ever. So,
Oh, that's
yeah, that's
awesome.
really nice. There
Yeah.
was an audience member that asked Anthony if he should have been fired last season, like if he thought he should have, and long story short, he said yes. He thought
Oh,
that he did. He
wow.
wasn't in the right headspace. He reminded us that just like 6 months before that, his father had passed away, and so he had his mom calling, and she was upset. And remember, his uncle, who was the boat captain, ran off with his
Yeah.
wife, and
Ran
um,
off with Anthony's wife,
ran
right?
off with Anthony's wife. Yeah. And Andy's listening to this and then he's like, wait, hold on. Can we go back to this? He just
Yeah.
needed to clarify. And yeah, so that was crazy. Um, and Watch What Happens 5, Andy had Anthony say famous Bravo phrases like, who gonna check me, boo? And receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots. I think if you don't have Peacock, you can watch a clip of the Bravo Watch What Happens Live, like Instagram. I think they put up a little clip of the Watch What Happens 5. I thought it was really
He was
funny.
too cute about it,
Yeah.
though.
If they didn't, then we should, because I thought it was so funny.
It was funny, yeah. So we had a listener request from Julie. She wants us to post links to every episode of past Kelly as Stefan, Stefan segments. So with the timestamps. So Sarah has done this for you. See the show notes, and here are the episode numbers. So it's number 23, number 40. Have we really done it this many times?
Yeah.
Gosh, okay. 23, 47, 67, 93, episode 110, 132, and 173. Yes, 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 yes.
So good. Do you feel like we've retired that segment, or do you think we'll bring it back at some point?
Um, I feel like right now it's in a good space. I feel like if there's some things that we really, I don't know.
It's
I
on
think we're in a good spot.
pause.
It's on pause.
It's on
We'll
pause,
pause
just
it
like
for now.
Dorinda.
Yeah. Dorinda.
Okay, so I want to
Okay.
talk about a few other Bravo shows that I am watching.
Yeah.
Because of the Bravo Love Watch Party 101, I watched
Yeah.
all of season one of the McBee Dynasty, which I
Oh,
mentioned. It's good. I'm
is it
all
good?
in and excited for
Okay.
season two. So I
All right.
recommend. I hope that season two will be as good as season one. I have a feeling because these people, well, except for one of the brothers, they were kind of nobodies, and so it's kind of that season two curse situation. So I'm worried that
Yeah.
it won't be as real as season one. So we'll see. Um,
Okay.
and then I'm watching Next Gen NYC. I
Why?
I do well, I do like it because it has, some people we're familiar with, kids of
Okay.
Real Housewives
Yeah.
and New York City. Now, in general, I stick by it that people in their 20s are just not as interesting as people that are like middle-aged plus, especially like 50 plus. Um, Remember how we saw Brooks at his mom's booth at BravoCon that one
Yes.
year? And I said, like, he was one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in person. Like, the camera doesn't even capture it for him. I mean, he was
Yeah.
just stunningly beautiful. And there was like nobody there. And I regret not talking to him because he's going to blow up, I'm sure, because of this
Yeah.
show. But man, we could have gotten a picture with him and talked to him, but rats. Anyway, so, of interest, there is this girl, Georgia, on the show, and she does not wash her hands. She grew up in New York City, and she's one of these people that's like, I'm going to expose myself to everything and it'll make my immune system stronger. She touched the bottom of someone's shoe, like in a bar, and then she like touched her eye a minute later. Just, and oh yeah, she goes to the bathroom and like doesn't wash her hands afterwards. This is unacceptable.
Okay. Well, I mean, oh, okay.
I do find her interesting, but I'm not touching her, that's for sure.
Now, isn't this whole show like offspring of past like
A good number of
Bravo
them. So
show people?
You have Gia from Real Housewives of New Jersey, Teresa's oldest kid,
Yeah.
and then you have Brooks Marks, and you have Candy Burruss's daughter. I think
Yeah.
those are the only housewife
Kim,
kids. Oh no,
Kim,
Kim Zolciak's daughter too.
yeah. Yeah.
That she's actually very interesting. So yeah,
Kind
I'm
of feel bad
enjoying
for
her.
her from what I've seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then
Huh.
big news for you, Kelly. I started watching Shaws of Sunset from season one. I totally understand your love of Reza now. I love him too. I think I'm on season two. So these are a couple moments that I thought were so funny. Here's a Reza
Okay.
quote. She's a low down monkey with a wig on. And then a scene that really made me laugh was him and MJ yelling out of the car window at Hose in New York City. And I love MJ and
Yes.
um obviously I know her from Traders, but it was fun for me
Right.
to see like where she got her start. And I just feel
She's a
like
completely different human in the
yeah.
beginning of Shaw's than she
Oh,
was when we saw her.
interesting.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, I can't wait to
completely
watch
different.
this. But this show is what reality TV like really used to be. I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
What's the deal with MJ's mom though? Like why is she like not like her daughter?
Um, I think it's I thought it was because she was really close to her dad,
Hmm.
and her
Oh, that
mom
could be.
was not
She's like
close to her
jealous.
dad.
Oh, okay.
Think that's right. I could be completely wrong. It has been a minute since I've seen an episode, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, I'm gonna have to start watching.
I'm gonna keep reporting back though, because I'm all in. This is really good.
So
Um,
good.
I really liked Reza helping MJ with her dating profile, and he's like looking for a good screen name for her, and he's like, "What about Middle Eastern big jugs?" I did notice that as rich as they seem to be with
Yeah.
their clothes and the cars they drive, blah blah blah, they have crappy apartments. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Vanderpump Rules, how they have like
Yes.
super crappy apartments.
They do all have their humble beginnings and
Yeah, I'm
they're
sure
all
that's going
on.
to change
Yeah.
as the seasons go on. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
So what do you think of Gigi and Mike?
ugh, I do not like Gigi. I mean, I
No,
get that she's good TV, but I just find her irritating
she
and flying off the
she
handle all
grows
the
on
time.
you.
Okay.
She will grow on you.
Yeah.
Mike though. he is a handsome young man, but
Yes.
he's got some issues.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
That's why they're
Okay.
on TV. Okay, it's time for our segment Join Me in the Wheelhouse, where we decide who needs to see Captain Kerry for a stern talking to. Kelli, who are you going to call to the wheelhouse and why?
Dare I say Caio? I
Yeah,
mean, fourth time's a charm. I don't know. I feel like he'll be gone by the sixth episode.
okay, that's a good prediction.
And
I would
I don't
also
think they'll
maybe
bring in,
call Rainbow up there. Just like bring it down a
yeah,
notch, girl.
let's just like, I understand there's the urgency in getting the stuff done,
Hmm.
but we have to have a little flex, and that'll come with experience in her life.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
absolutely. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Above Deck. Thank you to our team at Hurrdat. Thank you to Brock. Thank you all for listening. Please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to tell a friend, and please rate and review us. 5 stars only. Remember, there's only 145 days until BravoCon.
Oh my gosh. Please follow us on Instagram at Above Deck Pod, and you can email us at abovedeckpod@gmail.com. And you can watch our episodes on the Hurrdat Entertainment YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm Kelly Busby.
And I'm Sarah Goldman. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.